All right, I'm trying to get to the session so that we... Oh, there I am. You see, there is like, comment, and share. Labon, please can you just click on the share button so that you can share this with your friends, your community, your followers, whoever's following you, just so that we spread the love and the gospel. Share. Mantima volume man. Wow, jwalo kupola volume ki ikutlwa ke. All right, so just the share. You know the lovely thing about sharing this session is that after today, it stays on your timeline forever. So maybe there was something that you heard, but and you want to hear it again. You go onto your Facebook page, you click on the live, it plays again. To those of you who came and you pitched, you can re-watch your pitch again. It's on the platform. So please share the love and share the gospel. And then lastly, before I introduce our next speaker, those of you who pitched your business, can I see your hands? Your hands? Please don't leave. We need to do an interview. Yeah, we need to do an interview with you. I'll speak to the team so that we can get you in there and then you can do your interview. Let me bring on our next speaker. We still together? Right, our next speaker is Busisiwe. It's not me. It's Bito. Raphekwane. Raphekwane. I pronounce it properly. Raphekwane. Fantastic. All right, she is with us in the building. Just read her bio briefly. While research shows that 70% of small businesses fail within 24 months of launching, Busisiwe, founder and CEO, Chief Executive Officer of the Transformation Legacy, is determined to use her expertise in entrepreneurial development to change this narrative. This narrative that is saying 70% of small businesses are failing within 24 months of starting. As a seasoned entrepreneur, development expert, and business mentor with 15 years of experience, 15 years of experience, and 10 years in enterprise development, she strives to assist small, medium enterprises in Africa to build thriving, legacy-driven businesses. And she's here to speak to us about her business, her journey, the processes that she's using in her business, the processes that you can use in your business to take your business to the next level. Over 15 years of experience, I think she has quite a lot of wisdom to share. She's with us in the building. Please can we put our hands together for Busi? Come this way, come this way, come this way. Come this way, there's a stage this way. While she's coming on stage, please let's show her some love. Let's put our hands together for Busi Raphekwane. Let's show some love. Let's show some love. Let's show some love. Let's show some love. Over to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Busisiwe. Thank you, Bito. Dumela. Legai. Reteng. As mentioned, Busisiwe, I run a business called the Transformation Legacy. My dream in terms of building businesses that can leave a lasting legacy started many years ago in 2007. I had completed my BCom accounting degree and I knew for a fact that I didn't want to become a chartered accountant. I just knew. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get bored. I need to do something else. And in my second year, actually, when I was studying, I had started a business selling printed and branded t-shirts, making clothes, because I've always been creative. So I thought, let me use my creativity to make extra money and also, you know, do something that I love, because accounting was not for me. I just knew. So I came home after I completed my degree because I was staying at varsity. And when I was just walking around, going to different shops, I realized that a lot of the businesses that I grew up knowing were either struggling to survive or had closed down. So I won't mention them by name, but I know if you are from my generation, you might know some of them. You know, some of the favorite shops that we used to go to buy chips, slab chips, and all of that. Those businesses were struggling to survive. And for me, it got me thinking, why is it that the small businesses in the township never survive beyond 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you know? And similar to businesses like Pick n Pay and ShopRite that we see growing and surviving, where you see the founder leaving the business to future generations. So it was from that year in 2007 that I decided that I want to contribute to making sure that businesses in the township become legacy businesses, become businesses that will be around in 50 years. You know, I had a business, the skincare business, Zuri. Zuri, we want to see your business in 50 years, 60 years, you know, and your business can exist without you as the founder, where you've, you know, handed over to other people to run so that it can continue. And that's where the vision was born. In 2007, the vision was born to build legacy-driven businesses that can transition from one generation to the other and can contribute to growing the economy in the township, because there is potential in our township. You know, there's lots of potential, but unfortunately, as small businesses, we are not tapping into that potential because we are not growing and we're not, you know, we're not reaching our potential in terms of growth and sustainability. So that's my background in terms of how I landed up building a business called The Transformation Legacy. We are an entrepreneur development company. What we do is we provide business mentorship and coaching, as well as business skills training and support to small businesses so that you are equipped to run your business. I always make this example that for all the professions, you know, if you want to be an accountant, you know that you're going to go and you have to get a degree in accounting, right? To become an accountant. For you to be a doctor, you have to go to a university for 7 years to become a doctor. However, when it comes to entrepreneurship, we don't take the learning process seriously. We almost just start a business. You're like, I'm passionate about, you know, distributing water, and I'm just going to start this business. But we don't take a step back to say, what do I need to learn about building this business? What do I need to know? You know, how do I build a business? How do I make sure that this business makes money and makes profit and it grows and so forth and so forth? So for me, my passion is in making sure that we see entrepreneurship as a career, as a profession. We take it seriously so that we can learn, what do I need to do to build a business and make it successful, and learn all the steps, you know, that we need to follow in order for us to do that. So that's what we do at the Transformation Legacy. I've worn one of our t-shirts which represent what we are trying to do, which is about making sure that businesses can leave a legacy. We don't want businesses that are failing within the first 3 years of operating, or businesses that are struggling to survive. We want to see businesses that are thriving and that can really, really be around in 50 years' time. I would like to see that in Hammanskraal, honestly. I want my grandkids to go to the businesses here or this business and see it thriving. So today I meant to speak about systems and processes and, you know, what it takes for you to build a business that will exist in the long term. Before we even discuss systems and processes, I think one of the most important things for me when you're starting a business is you must have a vision, right? And I mean, you hear this a lot, like, what's the vision of your business? But really, do you have a vision? Do you have that vision? Do you see your business clearly? When you think about your business, can you see what it would look like in 20 years' time? Or in 30 years' time, or in 50 years' time? Where are you taking this business? So for me, the first step, before doing anything else, is what is the vision for your business? And your vision needs to go beyond current circumstances. It needs to go beyond, this is what I need to sell this week to meet my target, or this is what I need to sell this month to meet my target. It needs to go beyond that. It needs to be long-term. Like, where am I seeing this business going? And what are the possibilities for this business? So that's the first thing. The second thing, and I see it a lot working with entrepreneurs, is a lot of the times we go into businesses without understanding what is the purpose of this business, What am I trying to achieve by executing this business? What am I specifically trying to achieve, right? And what is the why? If you don't know what your why is in business, why am I in this specific business, then you'll struggle to grow it. So that's the second thing that you need to do. Understand your why. Why am I in this business? What is the purpose of this business? What do I bring to this business that is unique to me, and what I have to offer? So those two things are really what anchors a business and what makes sure that it can last in the long term. And the third thing for me is, what are the possibilities for your business? Especially if you're starting a business in difficult circumstances, you have to think about what is possible for this business beyond what I know, beyond the markets I know. So yes, you only know, maybe you might know the market of timber. But what are the possibilities? What other markets can you tap into? Or what other things can you offer in your business to make sure that it grows and becomes sustainable? So those would be the three things. I want you to think about them. If you've got a notebook, write them down, because ultimately you have to go back and say, what is this vision of my business? What am I really trying to achieve? Why am I doing this? And lastly, what are the possibilities that I can tap into as a business? All right. We're going to delve into speaking about business systems and processes, and how you can build systems that will make sure that your business lasts. I want to bring a colleague, a friend, a fellow entrepreneur, developer, Glenda Sitedi, to come up with me on stage. Glenda is the process queen, right? Glenda is really passionate about systems and processes. She's done it. She's traveled globally advising entrepreneurs and studying what entrepreneurs are doing in terms of building systems and processes. And I thought it would be valuable for us to have this discussion with her. Right.
Thank you so much, Busi, it's an honor to always be included. I was never prepared for this. Busi always just hijacks, but that's the nature of entrepreneurship. Hello to everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to be able to share. Oh, can we have a seat? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Maybe they have special people. Thank you. I think I've had the pleasure of being able to spend time with businesses, and I think what I've always done was be able to walk into a business and sit and watch how it is that you do things on the outside. And I think in my network, I'm always advising that it's okay for you to come up with that special sauce, and I think this is what I always talk about. It's okay that you have a recipe, but beyond you and the recipe, when you are not there to mix that recipe, can somebody take over? And I think that's the one important thing that I always speak with businesses, that it has to be simple. You can replicate the system, meaning outside of you, you can repeat the process, and to the T. I think as small entrepreneurs, we get so attached to the fact that somebody can run off with your business, right? We say, I want to harbor the idea, or I want to hold the idea because I'm scared that someone will take over the idea. But for us to be, if Pick n Pay was scared of Spar, we wouldn't have competition in the first place. So it's for us being able to understand that businesses can exist, do the same thing, but you're not going to be able to feed the market alone. And that's what we need to understand. So if the pie is big enough for Spar to exist, for ShopRite to exist, for Pick n Pay to exist, why do you see it as a threat if you were to teach someone? So Pick n Pay, when they onboard you as an employee, they don't think you're gonna go start another grocery store. Even if you do, it will take you, a bit of a mileage for you to even catch up to where Pick n Pay is, right? Same applies with us. We need to start seeing the opportunity of investing in processes. QMS is only developed because you can replicate the system and you can give it over to someone and they can do it as well as you can. That for me is a business. Most of us are still in the phase of self-employed, if we really are honest, because you are the business, right? But you can't leave the business and leave the business to run. Most of us are even scared to step outside of the business because things will fall apart, right? And I think Oslizi really touched on that we need to get to a point where we can document everything, leave the document to someone, and look on the outside and see it run without you as the individual. Yeah, so for me, that's the one thing that I've had the pleasure to do, Busi. And, I always encourage business owners to say, get someone that you're mentoring. Put someone next to you who understands your business to the T just like you do. That's going to alleviate a lot of pressure on you as the business person. It's one thing for you to have founded the business. We'll always recognize that. But you need to be able to let somebody else run it on the outside and see that oiled machine run in your absence, for sure.
And I agree with what you're saying completely. For me, that's the reason why businesses do not grow and reach their potential, because they are so dependent on the business owner. When you're not there, the business is not running. And we've been to certain shops, where the shop is not open that day because the business owner is sick or they're somewhere else or they've got a commitment. So the business stops when you are not there because there are no processes to continue without you. I want to go to the point of maybe let's break down this word system because it might sound complicated and so forth. Like, what is it really? Because for me, it's like, just outline how do you do things. If a client had to call you, you must have a way in which you respond to calls. That's simple. That's a system, right? So tell me, like in your experience, where have you seen, entrepreneurs missing out on basic things that they can turn into a system?
Now, let's take, for example, today, right? We've got exhibitors, right? For me, if you were the business owner, and you're great at closing a deal, right? Let's start there. You're great at closing a sale. Meaning that if you were to explain your product, you would get someone to buy it immediately. You've got that potential. That's why business owners like taking that initiative that, okay, I'm going to exhibit, I'm the one that's going, right? Because we know that you can sell your business. For me, it starts there. Take someone and teach them how to sell just like you. They need to be able to pitch and close a deal while you watch and stand back, right? But then you start identifying that, okay, that one thing that you did not mention, that is important because that's what gets people to buy, right? What that is going to do, like what you're saying, Busi, is that it develops a standard pitch. It develops a standard selling point for your business, right? Meaning that in your absence, someone can equally pitch your product, understand it, and answer questions just as well as you can in your absence. So that means the business can make money outside of you. So for me, that's also the one key thing that businesses need to start, small businesses need to start at, right? It's great that you can pitch, but get 5 of you that can pitch your business and know that they can come back with the funding. What is daunting or what makes, and I always share this with entrepreneurs, when you get entrepreneurs getting to a point where they are no longer excited about the business, it's because you've done it alone too long. So you are exhausted now. But you can't run with 10 people who can pitch your business. Meaning that if you're the one sourcing money and you have 5 other people sourcing money for your business, that gives you strength to keep on going. But you get to a point where you are so exhausted that you are unable to even identify ideas externally, right? You can leave the pitching to someone at some point and start identifying opportunities like Busi said. But it requires the business owner to be able to always have an aerial view. But if you're always running on the ground, you're unable to see the aerial view of your business. Does that make sense? So for me, it's to say, it's great that entrepreneurs locally are taking initiative to sell your product. But get people that you can invest the very same amount of time to standardize your pitch, to be able to close sales and understand the product equally just like you can, and make a lot of those. I mean, we see it all the time. You know, these huge marketing companies, right? We see them in town, right? They put a lot of salespeople. Those people invest a lot of time in getting people to understand the product, be able to replicate the system, and go out and put on as many soldiers, foot soldiers, as you possibly can. So for me, that is the start. And I think if you can standardize that, for example, for a normal employee at the office, you want to turn them into a guru salesperson. Start writing simple things for them. Hi, how are you, sir? I'm good and you. My name is whoever and whoever. I'm from this company, you know. This is what we do. Our product is this and this and this and this. Special thing that gives us a competitive advantage. This and this and this and this. They need to be able to repeat those things like you are sleeping. Like if I had to wake you up as the business owner, and I had to say, what's your business? You would tell it to me from the back of your head. You need to create more and more people like that. Because like that, what then those people will then do is they will go back and ensure that efficiency happens. So they now start understanding the process. And that allows you to be able to step away from the business. So that's for me a start.
That is an amazing start. I think, yes. A really amazing start. I think the key takeaway there is write every single thing down. So as you are doing a sales pitch, as you are speaking to clients, as you are receiving that call and attending to an inquiry, write down exactly what you say, write down exactly how you answer to those inquiries, so that when you are hiring new people, you can then train them on the processes that you have been following.
And I remember, Busi, you know, some people, when I want to touch a little bit about my entrepreneurship journey, I used to be, while I was at tertiary, I did these marketing things. So I stood at shops, you know, for Parmalat, right? And that's how I started learning how big companies did it. And sometimes we ignore the experience that we get from doing those minor jobs. I mean, I was at tertiary, I needed to make extra money, and that was the one way that I could. You know, I would come up with a Saturday, you know, 1.8 for a couple of hours. Great, I'm making money. But I learned how to be able to create that system for my business. I learned it on the ground. So I actually wanted to say that they could standardize, you know, make it easy. And then they would take us out for a number of days and you were called a retrain. You know, retrain means that you go with an expert to the field, but you are listening and watching. So you learn what the expert knows, right? So take your people on retrain. And so what we always ignore is that sometimes you have that one person. And another thing, I will mention that it's dangerous to rely on one person in your business.
Yeah.
And this is what small businesses do as a mistake. So that person takes a day off, you are stranded again, right? But what you can do is alternate your departments, right? Get someone from your marketing team to come out to the field with you. It doesn't hurt if your marketing person knows a sales pitch, right? It doesn't hurt if your accountant knows a sales pitch. You need everybody in the business understanding their business. Whether it's the product, whether it's the service that you're providing, you need everybody understanding that particular process. Yeah, so you have your accountant selling at some point, right? You have someone who is front desk being able to pitch your product, because sometimes a client ends at reception. They don't get to see the marketing person. You need the reception to be able to answer questions. So alternate the people that you're working with. Take them out on a day, get them to pitch and do sales. For me, that was something that was very powerful for me. Absolutely.
Sure.
So Busi, I've got a question for you, right?
Yes.
Since now, this is a conversation, so I want you to be able to share your journey.
Yeah.
Busi, in terms of what is the one thing that entrepreneurs miss as a learning process? And I know I attended a summit that your organization hosted. And I know Transformation Legacy spoke about how you can't get a doctor who just puts on a coat and then claims that they can, fix people or they can help people. Tell us, what is the one key component that you realize that the transformation legacy that every entrepreneur needs to equip themselves with before they even jump into starting a business.
Sure. I think one of the biggest things for me that I've seen is the need to do personal development. And I know that it sounds like it has nothing to do with business. But if you are not self-aware, if you don't know who you are, if you don't understand your strengths, if you don't understand your areas of development, if you don't understand your own barriers, it's going to be difficult for you to even attempt to embark on the entrepreneurship journey. And all of us have those things. All of us have barriers that only we know about, right? It could be self-doubt. It could be I'm not confident to sell, you know? It could be I struggle with procrastination. It could be anything. You need to identify those barriers up front so that they do not prevent you from building your business. For me, that is the foundation. The foundation is personal development and building your mindset. Absolutely. So I always say you can only go as far as your mind can go, right? If you cannot dream of being successful, if you cannot even comprehend in your mind what that looks like, how do you go on a journey where you're trying to make a business a success? It would be difficult. It will limit you. So the first thing is about personal development and really building a strong entrepreneurship mindset, and a mindset that says that anything is possible, a mindset that says I can be successful, a mindset that says even if I come across obstacles, I will conquer those obstacles because I know what I'm made of. So those for me are the critical thing and component before we even get to, okay, let me understand how to run a business and how it works and all the mechanics. If you get that right, you'll be able to navigate anything in your business.
I want to actually touch on that, Busi, because I was asked this a couple of years back and I had to stand outside of my business and write it down. The one thing that we often, forget as entrepreneurs is if you can't even put your vision in words, how do you articulate that vision to the many other people that will follow you in that business? So some of us, we're passionate about a product, but we are unable to articulate it to the rest of the team. And I know small businesses struggle with this. We struggle with retention of employees, right? One, you can't pay them a salary that big companies can. So one, you need staying power. But what is it that keeps people attached to that particular vision? You need to be able to really communicate what it is that you envision as the founder of the business and be able to really articulate it well enough that other people are able to follow and actually trust this vision. Because once we see you as the business owner, kind of not sure of what you're doing, if somebody offers me a CV, to bring my CV, I might be reconsidering. And there are some companies, you get a shocker, right? Where someone is offered another job and the person immediately says, no, I'm fine. And you're like, what are they giving this person? And then you think it's attached to money. But it's not. Because organizational culture is a system. And that's the part that we forget, right? Organizational culture is what it is that we do every morning. And so that goes back to systems and processes. How does our day look like, right? Guys, it cannot be frazzled. 1 minute we're doing this, 1 minute, you understand? When you go back to processes and system is, let's outline a normal day for delivery speed, Let's outline what a normal day for someone over delivery speed look like. So we get to the office, we open up. Do we have a prayer session? Do we have a motivational session? Those are things that even outside of you can't just walk up one day in the week and say, yeah, let's have a motivation. Okay, is it part of the system? You thought about it? What happened? Did you wake up with inspiration? Is this standard? Do we do this every day going forward? Or do we only do it when you are here? Now you're robbing even the people in your business to take initiative, right? But guess what? When you standardize it and say, there's motivation. One day you're not there, guess what? Your marketing person says, I can do motivation today because it's standard. Then they start, investing time in understanding that, oh, okay, so this is how a standard day looks like. But guess what? normally over time, that develops something, and we've heard these words a lot, right, in marketing courses, something called a QMS. You know that booklet, right? They always say you have to develop a QMS module. But QMS, when you really go into, it's just the business culture from A to Z. It's what the business standardly does all the time. You understand? It's getting people to really just understand what the business stands for. And so I want to challenge small businesses that, as a small business owner, go back and this week, start with a one-pager. Start with a one-pager to just put down your processes of what your business entails. And let's see by the end of the week if you won't have 5 or 6 pages. Because you're going to start realizing, oh, the marketing person doesn't know what to do. Let me write what the marketing person must do every single day. Oh, the accountant doesn't know what to do. Let me write what the accountant must do every single day. Those things combined become your QMS. Guess what? When you speak to an investor, I'm not even asking you what your processes are. You're saying, this is a model that you can take. You can replicate it somewhere else. We've done the standard procedure for you. When I look at that as an investor, I can put my money on that because you can tell me where your money goes, where you spend most of your time, what is the most, labor-intensive area of your business. We work with people that are investors that go into businesses, right? And they can turn over the value of a business. How that is done is by being able to take that particular system, look at the areas that are labor-intensive or that are cost-intensive, and we can introduce automation and say, this is how we can turn your business from being valued at this amount to getting to the X amount, simply because we can realize the loopholes. But if you have no record of that process, how do we identify? Absolutely. So,
yeah.
Osemo says, wow, right? And I like that. I think that deserves a round of applause. Busi, tell us about some of the things that Transformation Legacy does, the causes that are critical that you take to entrepreneurs.
Okay. So we take entrepreneurs through all the areas of business, starting with personal development of self-mastery, which is critical because we want to make sure that you've got a resilient mindset when you are embarking on this entrepreneurship journey. Then we go into business strategy, right? And business modeling. And when we talk about business strategy, we touch on the point that I mentioned earlier on and that you also mentioned about what is the vision of this business, because everything will come from there. How you see your business, what you want to achieve, the impact that you want to make in the market. That's going to determine how your operations are now run and the type of systems and processes that you're going to need in your business for you to achieve that vision. And then we have courses such as business operations management, where we run through this type of systems and processes that you're going to need. And in basic form, it's just about understanding the type of activities that your business participates in on a day-to-day basis for you to be able to service your clients and for you to be able to reach your business goals. So what are those activities, So that's what we cover under the business systems and processes. And then other important aspects are like your financial management, and cash flow management. And we know how tricky financial management can be for small businesses. And most small businesses close down because of cash flow issues. Just the last few modules that I want to mention is the sales and marketing component, which is important in terms of business growth. But what I've seen, is a pitfall for most businesses is inconsistency. So when customers come to you today, when you are in a good mood and your employees are in a good mood, great service, great food, or whatever you're selling, everything is great. When you're not in a good mood and whatever is happening in your life, then, bad service. So there's inconsistency in terms of service and products sometimes that entrepreneurs provide. And how writing down every single process helps is you make sure that you are consistent. When I'm buying kota today, it must taste the same way that it tasted yesterday. That's what we want. And that's what all customers want. They want to trust in your product and the service. They want to trust that they're going to get the same thing that they paid for yesterday if they come back again today. So it's all about that. If you are able to be consistent in your product, in your service, then you're going to get more clients, you're going to grow, you're going to be sustainable, and maybe we'll see your business in 30 years' time or 40 years' time. For me, it's about those basic things. Get the basics right. You know, let's not overcomplicate it. Get the basics right. You know, if you're selling water, it must taste the same. If you are providing a certain service or accounting service, you know, when people come to you and you provide that service within 7 days, it must be 7 days all the time. Just let's do the basics right so that we can gain the trust of our customers and also be able to expand beyond our current reach.
You know, Busi, recently we ran workshops for a group of entrepreneurs, and I'm actually taking from what you're saying, right? The one thing that we touched on as well that small businesses do as a mistake is we're always chasing the next dollar, but we don't retain the ones who've already bought from us. Yeah. So let's take, for example, if someone buys from you, you don't even take the time to go acknowledge them, right? And these are the people that are supposed to make a noise about the service that they provided. But you focus, it's like our retention rate is so bad. You know, it's always a new person. You know how we alternate employees, even our customers, it's always a new 100 rand. It's not a returning 100 rand. Because we see it as not valuable to go back and say, thank you for partnering with us. You know, it was something that was very important and actually said, Khudi does an amazing job, as he always does it, and I follow him, you know, and I want to say I appreciate that. I've seen him use his own service because he wants to ensure that the process is the same every single time, the consistency. So you're the business owner, go and be a customer and see what happens in your business. The day you're not there, just come in as a customer or send somebody to just quickly, you know, pass by at your place, and let's see if the same consistency will be applied when you're there and when you're not there. Right? We need to start being able to use our own businesses and realize the faults when we're outside. You do an amazing job, Khudi. I want to actually, you know, applaud you on that. Yeah. But the one thing that we spoke about a lot about in the workshop was how it is important. You know, VW, even if you have had their car for 15 years, and you still take them for service, they still say thank you very much for being a loyal client. You know, please do come back. We still have service on this, and they want you to come back. And you keep on buying a VW because that's the type of service that we do. Small businesses don't invest in customer retention. We're always chasing the new 100 rand. So now that someone bought, you are focused on the next one, right? And this is what turns people off. It turns people off from your service. Yeah, you're doing an amazing order, but have you given them something for free once? Just so that they come back? It can't be like that, guys. Because the value of that slice of cheese that you put in as an extra, guess what? It returns a quarter percent. It retains the next 20 rand that is going to come back. It's nothing compared to the slice of cheese that you invested to get that person to come back. So we don't see it valuable in returning our clients like that. It's okay to just once, you know, if you are in coffee, give them a free cup of coffee and say, thank you, you've been here, I've seen you the entire month. Here's a free cup for being a loyal, you know, client. Those are the people that are supposed to go out and rave about your service. You want to keep those people happy. Does that make sense? And I hope it's understandable for a lot of business. Start investing. Well, it's something to invest in marketing. Start investing in retention. So if you've realized that you've got a product that people are buying, invest in retention of those people because they will continue making a noise about the excellent service they've gotten. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I don't know if Busi has the final words. Busi, share with us a current book that you're reading or a book that has impacted how you've founded and run Transformation Legacy, and just final words for everybody that's sitting in the crowd.
All right. Book that I'm currently reading, okay, I'm done with it, but I think I'll mention it because it was very impactful, is Atomic Habits. I forgot the author, I'll get it for you now, but it's Atomic Habits, and it basically speaks about if you want to achieve something, you cannot achieve your goals without changing some of your habits. Woo, there it is. Yes.
Powerful.
Yes, yes.
I think now is on the way. Eh? I see.
It is a powerful book that speaks about changing the small habits, right? Getting the small things right, changing those small habits to build up to you achieving your goals. And a book that has had impact on me is Shoe Dog. That was by Phil Knight, the founder of Nike. So he shares his journey in terms of building the company. It's a really nice book because he's gone through many obstacles, like all the obstacles that you can think of as an entrepreneur, he went through. So it's really nice how he built resilience over the years and how he's managed to build a brand. And the vision that he had those many, many years ago when he started Nike is the same vision that he has today. So for me, it really impacted me in terms of really establishing what is the big vision of your business and what is the purpose of the brand or the company that you're trying to build. So yeah, that book really, really clarified the importance of understanding your purpose and vision. Yeah. So those would be the two books for me that really, really stood out.
Thank you so much, Busi.
Thank
It was a
you.
pleasure to be included in this session. I hope it was powerful for you. Busi, once again, continue doing the amazing work that you're doing. It's an honor to always be working side by side, you know. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Glenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was Busi, and you guys are a good tag team, eh? Like, ulale tag team, abakena, no abakena this time. No, ask them this one. Please, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. Powerful and practical. Can we get, my brother? Can we just get a picture with Busi before we give her? Are we still together? No, don't. You take the picture. They'll focus on me. We're still together. You know, one thing that I picked out from that presentation, it made me laugh. But they shared really powerful, practical stuff around systems. Come back. So, before I give you the gift and introduce, how do people get hold of you? Because you shared amazing work, the courses that you run. Someone's asking, okay, but how do I learn? Where do I get information?
We are very easily accessible. On all social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, The Transformation Legacy. You can also just send us an email on info@transformationlegacy.com. I'm still here. I'll give you business cards in case you want to reach us. But please do follow us on our social media pages. We do free webinars on a monthly basis that you can join virtually. And yeah, we share a lot about the work that we're doing, so you can join our programs or any of the events that we're hosting. But yeah, all the information is on our social media pages. Thank you.
Thank you so much. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Busi Raphekwane. Let's give her a massive round of applause.